Tell everybody, Joe Lozier.
Tell them
Tell
what?
them all. Go ahead and tell them. Clay's the man. I'm the man. I'm the man. Woo! Joe, that is a great entrance because I am the man. I am the man of the hour. I am the host of this show. Clay Major, your commissioner. My esteemed colleague, Joe Lozier, NFL Player Association Union representative. And, of course, as always, our unofficial sponsor, Fireball. The only way to kiss the devil, Fireball. I like how your drink's blurry, Joe.
Blurring out the Hornitos logo on the back of my shot glass. Because Fireball's all you need. Fireball and Bolts. Should be beating Detroit right now.
Fireball and the Bolts, baby. Joe, great week of fantasy football. A lot of crucial wins picked up here. Some playoff positioning has been decided as well. And that leads us into your matchup, Joe Lozier. We have the Allergic to Playoffs, 5 and 7, 6th place going into the matchup against the Dirty Randys, the dirtiest Randys, who are 3 and 9 in 8th place going this matchup, looking to play spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, they did not.
No.
Allergic to Playoffs. What was that, Joe?
Might as well be in 9th place. I apologize for interrupting you. Continue.
No, you're fine, man. I did it pretty quickly. You ended up taking this one 133-26 to 113-18. Good victory, 20-point victory. That's solid. Allergic to Playoffs, you did have two 20-point scores. Coincidentally enough, well, excuse me, one of them was a 30-point and one was a 20. Coincidentally enough, they were both on the same team, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and that was a major factor, by the way, playing them both.
Bold move paid off, Cotton.
Yeah, bold strat of the week, Cotton, and it paid off for him. You only had 3 players below the dreaded 10-shoulder. That would be Travis Etienne at 7.5. This has now been 3 weeks in a row, not including the bye week.
Yeah.
That he has put up under 10 points for you.
The Jags' life.
Yeah, and you can also include a 4th because I think he scored like 10.5 one of those weeks as well. Mark Andrews, 7.43 in this game. He is in the same boat. He hasn't had over 10 points since week 6. Week 13. That's your number 1 tight end drafted in our league, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And Tyler Bass got you 7. A little bit of a shocker there. He's been on a pretty good roll of the late. With the win, Joe moves to 6 and 7 in 6th place in the league. 1 game behind for the final playoff spot, which we will get to later in the show, Joe. First, we have to get to Mason. His top performers were Tony Pollard, 26. He was the only player above 20. Under the 10-shoulder for Mason was Alvin Kamara, 5.35, Chris Olave at 8.5, and George Kittle at 3 points. Going into Monday, he needed 30 points between Olave and Kamara to get the win. A little bit more to get the win, but around there. Joe, your thoughts going into Monday night and what you were feeling and what you were expecting?
I wasn't ready to call it a victory, that's for sure. And being there, AJ, I mean, they were sustaining drives, kind of. They weren't three and outing. So I was expecting some higher point totals from them. I'm glad they didn't. Helped my fantasy team and the Bucks.
Very glad that's true. That's great. Great insight there. Mason becomes the first team in the league to reach 10 losses. He is 3 and 10 in 8th place. Officially eliminated from playoffs at this point. I don't think you can get any more officially eliminated from the playoffs. Joe, you also sweep the season series between the two of you. So hopefully at this year's draft, I don't have to.
Oh, you froze. You're not here.
Andrew gone. Prediction.
What's going on here?
That's a joke.
Are you frozen?
No, I'm here.
Okay,
you were frozen. Your camera turned off.
You froze for like 20 seconds. My camera's still clear / blurry.
Yeah, okay. My fault then. Apologies. Anywho, predictions. Clay, I had Mason in this one. I got that wrong. I'm 0 for 1. Joe is 1 for 1. He got that right. He had himself. So, Action Jackson's your 4 and 8, 7th place going into this against the Hillier Holes, 7 and 5 in 3rd place. Andrew took this one 157.75 to 136. Andrew had the highest score of the week, so he would have beat everybody. That's crucial to the breakdown statistic, which we will get into later. Andrew's, I already said that. He had a 30-point score in Joe Burrow. 31 for him. 3 20-point scores. Tyler Lockett, 25. Tyreek Hill at 28. And Josh Jacobs, 25.6. 3 players underneath the 10-shoulder. Dalton Schultz at 4.3. Graham Gano at 9. And the Chiefs' defense at 4.5. Andrew, with this win, you advance to second place. 8-5 in the league. Good mark. Action Jacksons, you did have 2 20-point studs. Run CMC at 26 and Garrett Wilson at 22. Good pickup 2 weeks ago there for you. Might have been even last week potentially. Only 2 players below the 10-shoulder for you, Mahendra. That was Dawson Knox, 0.0 on Thursday Night Football. And Tyler Boyd, 8 points. Shout out Joe. Andrew sweeps the season series against these 2 opponents. And for predictions, it's a clean sweep for both me and Joe. We both had Andrew. I am 1 for 2 on the week, and Joe is 2 of 2. Joe, let's do a little shot of Fireball before we get into the 4 o'clock games.
The score o'clock game? Is that what you said?
The score o'clock games, yeah. The 4 o'clock. I slurred it. All right, here's Fireball. Delicious. Butter Pills. 7-5 going into this one. 4th place against Mr. Rogers. All good in the neighborhood at 7-5. Tuna came into this one guns a-blazing and won it 152.71 to 120.98. Tuna is on a 5-game winning streak, ladies and gentlemen. 5 games.
Yeah.
He had 1 30-point stud in Devontae Adams, who, man. He got hot at the right time, huh? He's even better without Aaron Rodgers. Go figure. Yeah. The Packers would be too. Honorable mention to the Niners defense, which had him 29.5.
Wow. Oh, didn't they have 2 touchdowns? Didn't they have
Niners?
Yeah, didn't they have a kick return for a touchdown and a fumble for a touchdown? Like that?
Let me check notes.
Probably not. I'm sorry.
Do not know. Do not know. That's not on there, Joe. He did also have 2 20-point scores in Christian Christmas Watson, 25, and Patrick Mahomes at 20. 3 players under the potential for Tuna.
Who saw that coming? Christian Watson was getting blasted by Aaron Rodgers for his effort and not knowing the route tree, and all this stuff. And now, what is it, 8 touchdowns in 4 weeks or something like that?
It's like 9 touchdowns, 5. Yeah, it's stupid.
What is going on?
Well, you see, the thing is, Joe, and what this generation doesn't understand and can't handle is constructive criticism is a great way to reinforce it. You have to bully somebody for them to blossom into the beautiful butterfly that they can potentially be. And when Aaron Rodgers knows that, he's an old man, he's 40. And so I think he did that. He knows he can bully people. He's always been a bully his whole life. We didn't post the episode on the YouTube where I did the whole deep dive into why Aaron Rodgers is a scumbag, but I will retouch on that. I will have editing on that video and everything. It'll be my magnus opus. Regardless, you bully somebody, you tell them, hey, dude, I'm not vibing with you. I'm a great quarterback. I'm a 3-time MVP. Some would say maybe one of the greatest quarterbacks to play this game. Top 10 for sure. You better listen to me if you want to get on my page. I'm not trying to get on your page. You're trying to get on my page here. And sometimes that's what it needs to be.
Okay. Yes. Great answer. Continue, please.
Thank you. I love always going on a rant about how bad of a person Aaron Rodgers is. I will never get old to me. He had 3 players under the 10 for Tyler. That was A.A. Jones, 8.15. Robert Tonyan, 1.5 consistently. I don't think Tuna's looked at another tight end other than Robert Tonyan all year. I mean, Darren Waller was on IR, so that's him. Harrison Butker, 6 points as well, the final person under that. Tuna jumps to 3rd place. 3rd place. Came into the weekend 5th. and the aforementioned 5-game winning streak, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just at a loss for words. Every year, Tyler surprises me with his fantasy football acumen and just comes out of the woodwork, does a trade with Joe every year, and somehow ends up the better for it.
We do see a trade every year.
Yeah, no, it's a pipeline for you two. It's a pipeline.
The comfort zone.
Yeah.
Unlike Robert Tonyan. Robert Tonyan's as good at tight end as Aaron Rodgers is at Jeopardy.
Robert Tonyan, my balls.
Oh.
And by the way, Aaron Rodgers is also very good at Jeopardy too. I hate that. That's the one thing the man's good at is Jeopardy, which makes sense because he's a nerd. Nerd.
I just say his face.
Oh no, horrible face, horrible hair.
Yeah, well, he ends up on Jeopardy. His face on Jeopardy.
But everybody loves him because he goes on Pat McAfee's show. Regardless, we're getting too far off. I can tag Pat McAfee now in the tag section. Good, that'll get some views. Matt McAfee.
Continue, please.
Little 5'5" Matt McAfee.
Continue, please.
Claims he's an athlete, but he was just a punter in the NFL, and we all know those athletes.
He pick his shoulder.
What were you saying?
Like Reggie Bush. Yo, he was a beast on that punt return defense. My apologies, please.
There you go. Reggie Bush was a great gunner, ladies and gentlemen. You heard that first and foremost from Joe Lozier on special teams units. Boner Pills, only one 20-point scorer. That was DK Metcalf at 25. 3 players below the 10-point threshold. That was Latavius Murray at 9.28. Pat Freiermuth at 9.1. And Justin Tucker at 4. That Ravens and Broncos game, I swear to God, the Broncos play the worst game of the year every single week this year.
Every single week.
It's horrible. It's horrible. If you are a Broncos fan, you are the most miserable person on the planet Earth these past 3 months. You want Drew Lock back. Absolutely. And Noah Fant. And that first-round draft pick that's now a top 5 pick. Yeah, highest ever Seattle's had in like 20 years, all because they traded their franchise quarterback, Russell Wilson. God bless them, helping them out. John, you're on a 2-game losing streak. And if the playoffs ended today,
which they don't,
you would be in 5th place on the outside looking in, brother. We'll get to that. More on that later. Once again, 7-6 falling in this loss. Big game, big matchup. This was a 4:00 game, which can only mean before I get to that part. These two teams split their yearly series. Tuna won the first game. John won the first game. Tuna wins the second. So no sweeps. Sorry to end the sweep meter. Joe, who did you have in this game?
John.
Absolutely correct. You got that wrong. You're 2 of 3. I also had John. I got that absolutely wrong, and I am 1 of 3 this week. So there we go. Tuna, upset alert on the experts. That leads us into America's
game
of
the
week
of
the
century
game. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you tune in for the weekly recaps. This is what we all expect. This is the biggest game of the week of the century, as forementioned. Let's get some fun in here. This is the Fireball Bowl. Woo! We have the battle of number 1 going against number 2. This is Alabama, Georgia, or Georgia, Michigan, if you want to get technical with this year. But normally this is the regular season. So this is number 1. This is number 2. It doesn't get juicier than this. I'm on the chase for the Hurts. Your commissioner, the man. Tell everybody. 8-4 going in this matchup. First place. First team to 8 wins. Going against Daniel, Fantasy Messiah, the fake Fantasy Messiah, who is 7-5 in second place going into this. Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, Daniel started the season 5-0, lost to Clay Major, then proceeded to go 2-5 to get us here.
What happened this week, Clay?
Oh, Joe, I'm glad you asked. The Commish takes this 133.2 to 116.2. Get the broom out because it's the fourth consecutive loss for Daniel.
Oh,
Four. And I
sweep?
swept them. This is a sweep for Daniel. This is his fourth loss in a row, too.
Oh.
For somebody that was bragging so hard earlier in the season, so hard. Oh, and Joe, best believe I talk shit, and it was like a one-sided matchup. It was terrible. I wish I could. I'll show you the gifts I sent him. It was absolutely terrific. I haven't heard back from him. Ruthless. Ruth.
R.I.P.
I'm on the chase. Had two 30-point studs. Two of my namesakes. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback one of fantasy football, the MVP of the National Football League. Oh, man, I have had on my team ever since he was drafted. Not ever since he was drafted, but since he became irrelevant. Okay, his last year, that was Clay that had him. And I started him over Lamar Jackson sometimes when most of these losers wouldn't. That's why I'm a winner. He had 35.7. And Joe, do you know who my other 30-point stud was? I'll give you a hint. He was a trade target for you earlier this year. The Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I told you on this very show, I think it was week 4, I view him as a number 1 wide receiver. And at the time, I was probably viewed crazy. And even looking through this was probably viewed crazy. And your trade offer that I turned down, I was probably made to look like a madman. No, sir. I knew what I saw him on. Check all my draft notes. Pre-draft, that man was coming on my team no matter what.
I did offer you a very fair trade for him. Well,
very super trade. It was decent. It was decent. It had its downfalls, which we talked about, but
knowing what we know now, obviously it didn't tilt the boat. But
yeah,
he just finds himself open all the time.
The man's incredible.
You know, like
man's incredible.
Cinco had 17 hands on him. He was still open. Amon-Ra, there's no hands around him because he's so open.
That's how I describe him, Joe. If you could combine Chad Ochocinco, open 24/7, combined with the mentality of Hines Ward, bingo.
Just was all the time.
Exactly. So you take those two guys, and that is Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God. He had 31.15. Under the potential. This is going to hurt to the ears, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to hear this be like, damn, how did he lose? How did he win this one? Generic Henry got me 5.5 points. Kenneth Walker, the Skywalker, the third, had me 4.5. He left after 3 carries. He averaged 12 yards a carry. R.I.P. It's a joint sprain, dude. It's a joint sprain. I'm gonna have him back.
Called it what did they call it?
He didn't roll it. He collided it from the top. Some stupid shit. Whatever. That's fine. He's going to be good to go, dude. Dude's a beast. He's going to be out there. No doubt about it. If not, it's okay, Joe, because I have James Conner and Najee Harris as reinforcements. Not too worried. Amari Cooper got me 6 points, and Deshaun Watson, the rapist, returned to football. I was so worried that one of you scumbags, degenerates, might grab Deshaun Watson.
I'm so glad.
So glad nobody did it, and I think after watching that first game, nobody is going to do that for the rest of the season.
Good. They shouldn't anyways.
So 22 of his rape accusers were there in the stands to watch him play horrible football. However, he is guaranteed $230 million, so I think he is the winner of all this at the end of the day.
Unfortunately.
And Travis Kelce. I thought Travis Kelce was going to blow this for me. Dude, I thought this was sabotage because Travis Kelce has been on Dan's team for the past 4 years running. I thought this was sabotage by Travis Kelce to give Daniel a win to help him with his playoff chances. Didn't work out for the both of you. Travis, you will be reprimanded come Wednesday. Clay maintains sole possession of first place, Joe Lozier, at 9-4, and I officially clinch a playoff spot. The first to do so in the league, ladies and gentlemen. I thank God, I thank myself, I think my pre-draft process and plans and notes couldn't have done it without you, and I also thank all the other members in the league for drafting poorly and waiver wiring poorly.
I feel like we've been here before.
God damn it. You guys say that every time. I know we've been here, and it's going to be different, dude. It's different. Daniel.
If I'm eliminated, I'm rooting for you. Simple as that.
Oh, I hope you make the playoffs, dude. I want nothing more than knock you off at the number 4 seed going against number 1. I want nothing more. I want to beat Joe. I've told you this to start the season, too. I want to beat you in the wild card divisional round, and I want to beat Andrew in the championship.
You did.
That would be my redemption in life for losing 7 fantasy football championships and not winning any of them.
Bro.
6. No, I think it's 6.
In a row.
Maybe 7. We'll get to it. 130-point stud. Cowboys defense, 33 points. Justin Fields came in with 26.5. He was my mage factor if he was healthy, and that is why right there, ladies and gentlemen. However, Daniel, you fake fantasy messiah, you had 4 players under the potential. That was Jalen Waddle, who had 1.4, who made up for Kenneth Walker leaving the game so early. Thank goodness. The incredible Hawk, TJ Hawkinson, at 5.3. And Deebo Samuel at 9.5. Ooh, he was banged up coming into this one. It was a bold start by you to actually start him. Lenny Fournette would not have made a difference, but he would have put up more points. And you also had Nick Folk at 4 points. Daniel, you continue your 4-game losing streak, now dropping to 4th place all the way from 2nd. We'll get to more on that later. Clay, Joe, bring out the brooms. Bring out the brooms. Clay sweeps Daniel. Ladies and gentlemen, I have bragging rights for Daniel a whole year. Joe says hi.
Hey, bud.
I have bragging rights over Daniel for a whole year now. He didn't beat me once. And it was easy.
Just like the Bucks and the Saints, baby.
And it was easy. It was too easy. And I told him it was the second time. I told him it was. Predictions. Joe, who'd you have in this one?
I had you.
You're damn right you did. And that was a great, solid pick. I, too, had myself. Broke a long tradition. And it paid off for me. You win the prediction battle this week, sir. You go 3-4. I go 2-4. 50% to 75%. Congratulations to you, Joe. That's a double win. Won this week.
Thank you.
Which leads us to our segment, our final segment, last segment. Which is, Joe, if the playoffs started today.
Oh, which they don't. We have 1 week left.
2 weeks.
We have 2 weeks left.
Brought to you by our unofficial sponsor, Fireball. The first 4 in, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
Before we get going, will you please you know what? Let's do that next week when there's 1 week left. We're running a little long.
No. We have plenty of time. Let me read mine and I can break it down.
Yeah, that'd be great. I just want the fans to understand what the breakdown, coaching, and true rankings mean. So
that is a great idea, Joe. I am in first place, 9-4. I have 1895.28 point total. So that makes me the highest point getter. I will be the first to breach 2,000. And actually, I'm the highest point total by almost 100 points. Baby! I am number 1 in the breakdown category. I am number 5 in the coach category. And I'm number 1 in the true category at 28 points. Joe, did I hear you have a question earlier?
Yeah, will you explain those? Like, what is the breakdown, coach? What's the true?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked because I also wrote down some examples for you as well. The breakdown, Joe, which I am number 1 in, is the wins/losses that you would have had per a weekly basis. So, for example, if you had the highest score of the week this week, you would have went 7-0. If you had the worst, you would have went 0-7 because there's nobody else you would have beat. Okay? The coach is the actual starting lineup versus your ideal lineup. And what that means in layman's terms is, for instance, in my case, Amari Cooper started the game for me over Keenan Allen. Amari Cooper had 6 points. Keenan Allen had 17.8. So therefore, I left negative 12.8 points on my bench. So the coach thing is the accumulative of how much points you left up compared to your ideal.
The optimal. Right?
Optimal. Thank you very much. Ideal.
Okay.
The true totals up the record with 8 points being the highest. The points for, the breakdown score, and the coach ranking. The highest possible score you can achieve in the true is 32. That would be 8-8-8-8.
Okay. Yeah.
Was that a good explanation?
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. With that being said, I do lead the league with true rankings at 28 out of a possible 32. That tells you how good my season's going and how I may be a juggernaut. The next, second place, don't shake your head at that, Joe Lozier. The second place person we have is Hillier Hall, Andrew, the Vice President of Fantasy Football Operations. He is 8-5. He has 1,796.97 points scored. That is good for second in the league. Yes, second. He has overtook Daniel for that vaunted tiebreaker slot. Andrew's number 2 in the breakdown score, number 4 in the coaching rankings, and number 2 in the true score at 26.
Number 2?
Number 2.
Okay. Number 2 in the true, not number true in the true?
Number true in the true.
Let's go.
At 26.
Let's go, Hillier Hole.
It's the true in the true, man.
All right.
Which brings us to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. You're going to hear some discrepancies in his standings, but do not take away any credit from what Tuna has managed to do this year, going 8-5 on a 5-game winning streak. He does, however, only have 1,676 points scored. That's good for 6 in the league.
6.
So Joe, spoiler alert, you're 4th. You had the tiebreaker over him and another person who we'll get to shortly. Tuna is number 5 in the breakdown, number 3 in the coaching, and number 5 in the true at 20. So second place is 26 in true points, and Tuna's 3rd at 20. Mind-boggling. That's a scrappy mindset, Joe. That's a gym rat.
So are you as good as your record says you are?
I think the stats say no. I think just as simple as that. Who's number 3?
Who's number 4?
Yeah, there we go. Okay, number 4, Fake Messiah at 7-6. 1,767 points scored. That's good for 3rd place in the league, so it does own some tiebreakers there. He is number 3 in breakdown, number 2 in coaching, and number 3 in true score at 24 points. Daniel, you are losing it. All those accolades are from what you gathered going 5-0 early in the season. After that, man, I mean, you are on a 4-game, 5-game losing streak. It's not looking good for you. You're only going to dip further. You have 2 teams on the outskirts now looking in. John's tied with you. Maybe not points-wise. You have him on points. But if he gets a win and you lose, he's an over you. If John loses, Joe wins and you lose, Joe's in the playoffs.
Playoffs?
Absolutely incredible, ladies and gentlemen. That leads us to the least interesting portion of this. It would be the first 4 out. The first team out, God bless them, they played a great season. If it ended today, which, Joe?
It doesn't.
That's it. Boner Pills would be 7-6, 1,688 points scored. That's good for 5th. He is number 4 in breakdown. He is number 1 in coaching, and he is number 4 in the true score at 22. So he actually has a higher true score than the number 3 team of Tuna. Make it make sense. Our 6th team Joe Lozier, allergic to playoffs at 6 and 7. However, you do have 1,710 points put up. That is good for fourth. You are currently the fourth highest scoring team in the league. That should put you in the playoffs, and I think it will, buddy. I think it's your comeback. You went on a 4-game win streak early in the year, and I think you can do that again right here. You are number 6 in the breakdown. Not good. Number 6 in the coaching. Not good. And number 6 in the true. You might be cursed. That's 666 at 14 points in the true. You are a whopping 6 points back from Tuna, who is number 5 in the true.
Who's number
Talk
7?
about stats. Okay. All right. Now we get to the officially eliminated teams. This is where I can speed up and get out of here. Ashton Jacksons are 4 and 9. They are in 7th place. They have 1,632 points scored. That's good for 7th. They are number 7 in breakdown. They're number 8 in coach, and they are number 7 in true at only 7 points. Then we have the next officially eliminated team. That is Dirty Randy's. Officially. Can I say it anymore?
No, that's great.
Okay. Dirty Randy's 3 and 10. 1,522 points. That is 100 less than number 7. And almost 400 less than number 1, Clay Major. He is number 8 in breakdown. He's number 7 in coaching. He's number 8 in true at only 5 points. 5 points. Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the show. Joe, thank you for being here. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. Do you have any final words?
Oh, like and subscribe, y'all. I know y'all.
That's what I was looking for.
Let's go. Let's like. Let's subscribe. Down here at the bottom, like and subscribe. Turn on your notifications if you want. Like, subscribe, and subscribe. Thank you for having me. Go Bucks. Let's go.
Go Bucks. Go everybody. Joe, good luck next week. I will see you Thursday to discuss your next matchup. I will discuss everybody's next matchup next Thursday, along with the waiver wires additions. In addition to the waiver wire additions, I will also do the predictions. Joe, do some research. It's going to be a juicy week of fantasy football, week 14. What does that mean? Is that penis size?
That mixed with a little bit of pretentiousness.
And some pretentiousness. You get it every week. That should be known by now. That is a Commish staple. But pretentious SOB. Put it on a t-shirt. Joe, let's welcome our unofficial sponsor, Fireball. Thank you for always being here. The only way to kiss the devil is through Fireball. That's been my show. That's been the Pen Toss. This has been your show. Commish, Clay Major, number 1. This is my year. Play me out. Hold up. We're going to get to the right spot. There it is. It's going, and I'm just going to talk it through. This is my year. If you cunts don't think it, there's something wrong with you, not me, because I am the true one. This is the year. Let's go. Signing off. Commish Run Offices.